Another day, another dollar.
Another
here.
day, another elderly documentary.
It's our October elderly off.
I get it. I like this. I wanted to do football, and you did elderly docs. All right.
Same thing.
I like it.
Here's what happened. Last episode, Alex recommended
Oh, yeah.
Some Kind of Heaven.
Right.
Courtney took exception to it, thought it was slow.
Said this is ridiculous.
She said, I got an elderly doc for you, which she's been holding out on me. How did you not tell me this until now?
How dare you?
So she said, we got to watch Young at Heart, and that's how the first ever geriatric off started here on the show.
In honor of the Bachelor, Golden Bachelor, this is great. We get it. Old people are people too.
So we're battling Young at Heart.
I'm right there with you.
Young at Heart versus Some Kind of Heaven.
Okay, so
let the battle begin.
So we have to pick of which one.
Who reigns supreme?
This is tremendous. It does not get better, people.
What we have to deem what older people are cooler? Who's having the better time?
Who's having the better time?
Where would you rather hang out?
Right. Which one would you rather be in? I don't know.
Who would you rather bone?
Ooh, I like that. I'm still in the villas.
You're still hanging in the villas. All right.
Right at this moment, yeah.
That's fair enough.
That's one of my favorite characters.
You could join the Philly Club.
Yeah.
In the villas.
This documentary, the opening is literally inside someone's mouth, right? This shot.
Eileen.
She's singing, and it's in the mouth, and I was like, oh, her teeth rival Uncle Bill's toenails from
American Movie.
It made my stomach turn, and I was like, "Oh man!" And then
she's like 90.
She was English, and I was like, "Oh."
I thought it took place in England at first because she's English, and then the guy who's doing the doc, who's talking a lot, is English.
Yeah,
but they're actually in Massachusetts. I was like, oh,
I was like, another tea party.
She's 90, I think 91, Eileen, the lady singing.
91.
One of the best
92.
One of the best goatees in the game.
Unbelievable. Yeah, she had some good chin hair, chin pubes going.
She shaved it at one point in the doc. Did you notice that?
I think so.
Like midway through.
The angles. But also their camera angles, they would do it. I was like, is the cameraman a giant? And then they would what's that called? Fish-eye them? And they just looked like they were in this like...
Well, they're all probably like 3 feet tall at this point. A lot of these old people.
Well, did this win a lot of awards? Because to be honest, this was excellent.
This...
This was great. My mom's going to love this
If you're quick to cry, this almost made me cry like 20 times.
I love that you say almost. I had to pause at least 4 times crying. The title alone had me in tears.
Would you say this is more depressing or more uplifting? Or both?
Both. A little bit of both. My grandfather, Young at Heart is his favorite song. And he made a record on the boardwalk in Atlantic City.
Really?
Where he sang this. So I brought it in. I didn't know he wasn't the real singer of that song. And my pop-up had a nice voice, and he belted it out, right? And I brought it into school as show and tell that my grandpop was a famous singer. And sang Young at Heart.
So he did like what you come in our studio, make a song.
They do that on the boardwalk or at Great Adventure. You could. Me and my sister Kathleen did a Debbie Gibson song. It was hysterical. It was so bad.
You still have it? I'd like to hear it.
Oh yeah, and at Great Adventure they play it over the as you're doing it. Oh boy.
So your grandfather?
My pop-up. Yeah,
he
my mom, my dad's.
Group.
Oh yeah, He was an entertainer. He loved to drink. His nickname was Ace. He gambled. He's terrific.
And maybe the Villages are better for him.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, it would be a tough one. But he would be singing. He would be holding court. That's for sure.
So Young at Heart is a chorus. It's in Northampton, Massachusetts. And it started, I guess, in the early 80s.
Yeah.
By this dude who runs it. His name's Bob Kleiman.
Who's just great, by the way. I love him.
He was super good with these people, but also kind of harsh at times.
Well, that's hard.
It's a tough job.
Look, but working with kids, working with people kind of sucks, but this gang.
Oh, look at Fred.
That's tremendous.
Look at Fred.
Fred's my guy.
They're looking for a new director. I looked at this, and that's what they want is a new director. I was like, I might.
He quit?
I think he's retired. He's 70 years old now.
because can you imagine?
He's older than some of the singers.
You have a vision. Right. You have a vision, and you're trying to get something, put something together, and none of them, their health. Everything's impeded. Everything's impeded.
All sorts of exterior problems.
Exterior, interior, and then they're just angry. Angry old people comes from somewhere. People get angry.
These people, though, like their rehearsals, so much laughter. They were having like the best time.
Yeah, but then sometimes they get pissed off
or like frustrated.
Yeah, one lady she had a good voice too, and she was like, "No, it doesn't. I don't know what he's saying." And I was like, "Oh shit, you're gonna fuck somebody up."
So this is a chorus where they're singing like rock songs. They did Outkast, I think, at one point.
Yeah, it was great.
Like, so he picks
the music choices, phenomenal.
He picks music and then he introduces it to them. So they show them listening to Schizophrenia by Sonic Youth. They're with their fingers in their ears.
One guy,
they're like blaring it. And then the guy's like, I do not like this song.
This is awful,
Because they said, what music do you all like? And it was like, I like classical. I like old show tunes.
Sure.
None of them liked any of this.
The standards
stuff.
Of course. What I was listening to when I pulled up. I listened to that stuff.
What was interesting, though, is so he would pick these songs. They've done Hendrix.
Yeah.
I looked up the group now did MGMT, like 10 minutes medley.
Wow. That's killer. That's hard, though. But the videos he was putting together
were great.
Absolutely flawless.
Shot great.
Absolutely. It should be an elderly MTV. Like, unbelievable.
So they get the song, but then he's like, you guys sing it, and they kind of like find it together. They're not doing like a straight cover.
Yeah.
They're doing like their interpretation.
Yeah.
Then their band is great. They have like a house band that's really good.
Those guys are I was like, wait, is he part of the group? Because the drummer was like getting
the drummer
into
looked
it.
No, there was a guy who looked just like him in the band. It wasn't him.
Oh, okay. Because I was like,
damn,
that guy.
No, the
he's
drummer
really holding time.
The drummer was like a 65-year-old black guy.
Wow, yeah, he was excellent. I was like,
great.
Damn. And what did that lady play? Clarinet? I'm not good at
violin.
Oh, violin. Okay, I knew.
They had a accordion guy.
That was Rita Rudner.
Like,
Rita Rudner in there with the. Holy shit!
So apparently the backstory is in 1982, this guy Bob Kleiman, I think, worked for like a meal service for the elderly.
Oh.
And I think they knew I think he had some sort of music background. They never said what it was. And they said, "Will you do some songs like as an activity?" And he said, "Sure."
Yeah.
So they were doing vaudeville songs, like I think what these people liked and what they wanted to do. When one guy stood up, I think he had enough, and he started singing "Do a diddy diddy dum diddy do."
He's a rebellion.
And they said
down.
They said the crowd like he rocked.
Go crazy.
They rocked it, and he's like, "Wait a second, we're on to something. Let's start singing these songs." And I think they started performing.
It changed everything. But what my favorite was when they were playing the Schizophrenia too. You saw the guys like. And it looked like Bill Burr's character. That old man character he does. You ever see that? Oh, it's the fucking best.
The guy from the Six Flags commercials?
No, Bill Burr does a commercial where, does a, not a commercial. He does a bit about the old man where you get to the point where she's just yelling at you, your wife, and you're like, it's so good. And my brother Johnny watches it on a loop. It fucking made me laugh so hard. It's worse than that, but that's close. He's a little older when he does it. It's one of his newer specials.
There were a lot of facial expressions like that in this.
I was crying. I was like, damn, Bill nailed this fucking thing.
The lady Eileen, the British woman, I think she's 92. I said 91. I don't want to.
I said 92. I knew what I was talking about because that lady, I was like, wow, she's 92. She's getting around.
She was the oldest in the group.
But she was still like
she was
vibrant.
Did they say she did a striptease? Did I mishear that?
I hope so.
I think they did say that. But then she's like, "Do you guys want to come to my room?" Getting like kind of crazy with the guys.
She was real flirty. And then she goes, "If I take off an article of clothing, don't get nervous." I was like, "Yes."
The guy's like, "You're a flirt, aren't you, Eileen?" I was like,
"You are a flirt."
She goes, "3 men come in my room." I was like, "Please get."
It's been a while.
She needs to go down to Florida.
Have you been in the villas?
She lived in an old folks' home. They gave her she's the only resident with her own key to the front door.
That's tremendous. That's how you stay young. You have your own key to the front door of an old folks home.
She's getting back from shows too
92.
late.
92. She's like, guys, I get up late. I come in late.
The staff is gone, so she would open the door herself.
I love her. They were like, what's your favorite kind of music? And she's, oh, My Fair Lady.
The King and I.
Oh, The King and I. And then they got her singing Schizophrenia, but my favorite, My Fair Lady was on the other night, and naturally I watched it.
You love show tunes.
I'm elderly. I'm my mother's daughter.
You had no
shirt
choice.
Is from the Lawrence Welk, the Lawrence Welk show in Branson, Missouri, right?
Yakov
Very
Smirnoff.
excited. I've never worn this. My mom was on the Roseanne show.
Oh, you've told me.
Okay.
You've told me
So I had friends come in town. Me, my brother Tommy, and my brother came in town. That's right. And my friend Jason we were dating at the time. We were looking for things to do. Paul Mooney was writing for Roseanne. He goes, "Oh, homie, just come to the set." Oh. So we went. And Bette Midler was on. It was a big deal. So my brother Tommy was thrilled. Tommy's a big music person, loves every genre you can think of. I think it was Joan Collins and Bette Midler. Hilarious. So we went and they were asking, the warm-up goes around, ask questions. They were like, who has the greatest mom ever? And this girl raised her hand and she was like, my mom bought me my wedding dress. And I was like, hold on, bitch. And I raised my hand so they came over and Tommy's like, don't you do it, because he's embarrassed. And I'm like, I don't care. I'm saying. So I start talking about my mom and how great she is. And the whole crowd's going crazy. And then after the show starts and they go, can you come backstage? I go, yeah. They go, would your mom come on for a segment? And I was like, you tell that bitch that got the dress, I won. And whatever. So we were joking, but really they made her domestic goddess of the month. So she came in one of the trips. They gave her all this stuff. She got a free trip to Italy. She got a trip to Branson, Missouri, because they were a sponsor. And this is what she brought me back.
You got her the gig. And
I got a T-shirt.
All I got was this
T-shirt. I never,
T-shirt.
ever put it on my body until today. So I may get a rash. But it is from a long time ago.
It's a beautiful shirt.
But it's, who my grandmom used to make us watch Lawrence Welk. That's why I know all this old music.
Do you have a talk show?
It was a music show. And my nephew Billy, who is 19, he might be 20 now, but he literally is like, oh, I remember Lawrence Welk because he used to watch it with my nanny, my grandma. It's his favorite. Lawrence, look how cute. My mom had the best time. She met the Lennon sisters. She got written up in the paper.
There's your mom right there with Lawrence Welk.
She hung out. My grandmom was like, the Lennon sisters were on stage. She brought my grandmom and she brought my brother Tommy. He was like in charge of the elders, but my mom was still like young, but my grandmom was, in her 80s. And so it was like hard, but it was her last trip kind of. She passed away when she was 92, but she was there and the Lennon sisters come out on stage and my grandmom had just met them. So she assumed we're besties. And she's like, hi, it's me, Eleanor. So cute.
Your grandma was an Eleanor?
Yes, ma'am.
Look at that.
I mean, yes, sir.
Big Eleanor, little Eleanor.
Big E and little E. Nothing. All right, whatever.
What'd you think of? They showed their first music video to "I Want to Be Sedated," the Ramones.
I want to be sedated. It was so good.
One of the main guys has the bandage over his glasses.
That's one of my characters. I was going to wear glasses because he had like a cross. And I was like, is that for the Lord or for sight? What is it?
The video, they were all in a nursing home. They were like in wheelchairs, and the words fit perfectly. One of the little lines is, "Put me in a wheelchair, take me to the show." And I was like, that fits perfectly to this group. And I think
and there was a guy in a wheelchair, so good. So what a creative thing they do.
So as we find them in this doc, they have a big, some big shows coming up, and the director's like, we need to up it to really 3 rehearsals a week.
Yeah. And I love they were bringing up Dora, a black lady who was 83. They were doing James Brown. And it was so good. And then they get
give
Stan.
The ow. She's like, ow!
Yeah. They get Stan up, and they both get up at the same. Stan has to be lifted
Stan
by
could,
three people.
Stan could barely.
Meanwhile, Dora's like running down, and he's like 10 years younger.
Stan had like
but he had a spinal
issue.
And I felt bad. I was like, man, but he's still going. He's still doing it. And Dora's the sweetest, cutest, just jumping around.
I looked it up. Dora just turned 101.
God bless you, girl. Because I swear.
She sang a song for like her
Woo!
birthday.
Yeah, she was doing a Ric Flair / Jimmy. Nobody knows James Brown's lyrics. Even James didn't know them. How are they going to sing them? That was freaking me out.
I liked
it's always like
in the rehearsal, there were a few people just sleeping, just like completely nodding off.
Bill Bird.
But
it was great.
When they put on Schizophrenia, they hated it. He puts on I Feel Good. There were like 3 or 4 black ladies were like they were like loving it. They were like even some of the whiteys were getting into it.
Well, even the English Eileen. She's like, she's an Eileen.
This is good.
Elaine, not Eileen.
She could join your
all the E's.
She's between you and Elaine.
Eileen, Elaine, and we'll get some Esters in there, and we got a party.
The Eves. You could have an Eve party.
Eve, all about Eves.
They set up Joe. He's 83. He's kind of like the centerpiece of this because I think this group is obviously people either die or have health problems.
Loved it. Joe
was.
Loved
they said he's the only guy who could learn the song in one day.
Right. The memorization skills were incredible.
At that age, 83.
Yeah. Shit.
This dude's had 6 rounds of chemo at this point.
And he was not supposed to be out. They were like, you got to limit your activities.
They go, don't go to Europe. These people did a European tour. They go, don't go. The doctors, he's like, I'm going.
Too bad.
Sorry.
But he was right. He made a strong point. He goes, the breathing and like just the memorization, it helps with your mind and your lungs. Like, that's great.
They have, there's a 3 Musketeers. It's Lenny.
John.
Lenny's the driver.
Lenny Joe.
His best friend Joe, who I just mentioned, and Eileen, the British. Lenny's the only guy who can see, so he's the driver. This guy was a World War II pilot. They show him driving. He looks like he's driving.
Really kept his eyesight for being a World War II pilot. God bless him.
Looks like he was driving kind of crazy. He took one turn kind of crazy.
And he wasn't. Usually when you see old people drive, they sit up like this and they're in the dashboard. Not Joe. Joe was like, I got it.
They go.
I mean, Lenny, he was all leaned back and shit.
Joe's like, he's
got the music blasting. Like, let's sing this one.
Like, you're going fast back there. You ran that red light. He just starts dying laughing.
Joe's like, oh, yeah, we were on a red light earlier, but his brakes work good. What?
That's their only option.
That's terrible.
This guy. But they were like legit 3 best friends.
Yeah, which was cute, which was really sweet.
The people in this are legit adorable.
Absolutely.
All of
like
them.
when you the villas or village is in Wildwood, New Jersey. I'm so biased.
You wish you were there.
But the villages, like those people were going down there to pretend they weren't dying. These people are like, we're fine with it, but we're gonna sing our way out of it.
These people are like their outlook on death was like it was like we all know we're dying, but like
we're good.
And if we die, like the show's going on, we're gonna sing.
Show must go on. And I loved a couple analogies they gave, but one was she's like, if I die, just keep going, even if it's when the show's happening.
She said, drag me off
the stage. That's what my grandma would say. Drag me off the stage, put me to the side, finish the show, then stick a dog bone up my ass and let them drag me off. What?
Sorry about that death, everybody. Next song, we got Lenny Kravitz. You're like, what? The guy, I forget his name. It wasn't Lenny, but it was the guy with the back. He does
Sweet Stan.
He does to the James Brown, and then he just stares like Mitch McConnell for like a minute straight. Just
he glitched McConnell
staring
out,
straight.
Man,
He's just like, and he's like, it's I Feel Good. The director's starting to get mad at him.
These are all Biden's peers. These are it definitely at one point I was like, oh, is this a congressional hearing right now? Like these people are all our congressmen right here.
They're too young and with it to be in there.
That's true.
Someone said when they're in here doing this, you forget all about your creaky bones, your ailments.
Yeah.
Like we're all feeling good when we're in here.
I feel good.
And they said this keeps your brain
messing up the words.
Oh, the guy couldn't get it right.
God love him. Stan, I'm sorry.
And Bob was really shitting on him.
Bob was getting pissed.
He goes, that's it. We're not working on it anymore. And you can see the guy was hurt.
He goes, let's let it go. And then he goes, he just stares. And then he goes, They go, yeah, he was a little harsh like that. And he goes, yeah, but I'm strong too. I can take it.
And Dora goes, some people say they don't like Bob hollering. I say holler right back.
He holler, you holler at him. I'm like, go get him, girl.
Someone said this keeps your brain going, and it's true. If you don't use it, you're going to lose it. So they're in here. They're memorizing full songs. They weren't using song sheets.
If you do not use it, you will lose it. I keep saying this to my mother, and I'm going to say it over and over when we watch this and we join a group.
You should start a group.
I'm going to start one in Philly. I think we could do a good one. The Sounds of Philadelphia, we could do a great one.
You do all Philly music.
All these old ladies, yes.
Boys to
we
Men.
have the best. Okay.
Who's the best? Who's the most well-known Philadelphia music group?
We'll do some Mario Lanza, huh?
I said most well-known. Who knows Mario Lanza?
We got
a local busboy.
How dare you? Watch your mouth. What's wrong with
the music?
I'm gonna call my dad. Where's my phone?
The music and comedy of Boston kills Philly.
No, absolutely. Google Sounds of Philadelphia. And you're out.
What is this, the Mummers?
You're out. Me and Andrew fight about this all the time. And I've had music people, and Andrew's from Brooklyn, and music people go, no, Sounds of Philadelphia. That's it. You'll never see the Sounds of Boston. What are you going to hear? A fucking drunk idiot with racial slurs? Stop it.
You ever heard
so
of
sorry.
a band called...
I just had a problem right there.
A little band called Aerosmith?
I heard of Aerosmith. They ain't shit.
Maybe Steven Tyler's had some problems in the recent years that have come to the light.
He transitioned well.
Not even that. I'm not talking about that.
But like, what's the one? Fabian was hysterical. That was like the old school. That's all Philly. They're all from
Maybe
Philly.
one good band from Philadelphia. The Roots?
The Roots are from Philly.
You could do the Roots songs.
Meek Mill. I mean, if we want to get
Hall & Oates are Philadelphia?
Hall & Oates. My dad used to. Oh, yeah, there's a lot. Boys and Men. Hall & Oates was doing like local stuff, and my dad has their poster in his typewriter store to help them advertise because they were doing shows. But back in the day, that's how you did it. He goes, "Oh, I know them kids, girl," and I go, "Them kids are gigantic." And he's like, "Oh yeah, they used to come in here and put their flyers in the window. I let them do it."
The one guy, I don't know if it's Hall or Oates, looks a lot like Baba Booey, Gary Dell'Abate. The mustache.
Yeah.
You got Fresh Prince.
There you go.
G-Love and the Special Sauce, who I saw in college.
The what?
G-Love and the Special Sauce.
Was G-Love and the Special Sauce is who you saw in college?
I saw him once.
Really? I don't know who that is.
They're it's like a band, but the singer is a rapper, a white guy.
Oh, okay. I don't think I know them.
Well, you're
when
missing
are they?
out.
92? Yeah. I'm more of like an Eve, Meek Mill, Jill Scott.
Cinderella's your era.
Yeah. Who?
Cinderella.
Were they from there?
Yeah, according to this.
I'm looking.
According to this site.
But the Sounds of Philadelphia was a big thing. American Bandstand. You know what I mean? Like, it was just a big deal.
It's the sound of Philadelphia. And then you just hear gunshots.
You're out. Philadelphia's the best place in the world.
Is it?
And for me. Well, I think literally every city, though, every state should have this. Well, every city, right? It's government funding from the state for this to be, because they took music out of schools. And I think that kind of fucked kids up. Fucked people up, whatever. Because it was
art too, I think.
Art too, yeah. It was, but it was just a slight creative outlet, whether you went into it or not. Like, you had something.
When it was something to get you out of school, like you're like out of the class, you're like, it's a good break.
I remember in 6th grade, Miss Fiorentino, the best, she would do singing with us. She would do it anyway, right? And we sang this song. This is gonna sound so awful.
Oh boy.
COFFEE, coffee is not for me. It's a drink some people wake up with. Now, ask me any other question about 6th grade. I don't fucking know.
Did she make that song
coffee?
up? Is that an original?
I have no.
Miss Fiorentino?
I'll call Bobby. He'll belt it out. COFFEE, coffee is not for me.
Is this an anti-caffeine movement? Or was she trying to spread here?
I don't know where she got it. It's tremendous. Everyone will be singing it, by the way. I wish they would have sang our homework like that. I could have been somebody.
In this point in the doc, the director guy, Bob, announces that they're bringing back 2 like big time members to do one of these shows.
This is a big deal.
They're bringing Fred back.
Fred's tremendous.
Fred he may have stolen the doc.
He stole the whole doc. He stole my heart. he stole.
He had a bad heart. He left. He left 5 years before I think this is like 2007 or something. So he left in like 2002. He had a heart attack and he has congenital heart failure. So he now has an oxygen tube in his nose. And he's like a great radio voice. He's like, "Hello, I'm Fred."
Yeah, real deep.
And he said,
could go real low.
He told the guy, he's like, the congenital heart failures from years of smoking and carousing and so forth.
So forth was so good.
I was like, oh, this guy's. By the way, every interview he did was in his kitchen, and he had a huge plate of cookies on display.
An array of cookies.
Like a nice line of.
So good. His little coffee, he drank Coffee, and
he dressed like Tweedledum and Tweedledee.
So good.
His pants were right to the nipples.
How do you...
And the gut, when he sat, would go way low.
Because you know when older people, like, they get heavy and then your ass is in the front and the back, right? And so he had his front ass was making his balls protrude, which was tremendous for me.
Quite a look.
When he sat down, like, the legs go out, the balls come down, and then the oxygen... It's hard to sing with the oxygen.
Yeah.
Don't you think? Like,
he was fine. He did.
Yeah, he was killing it.
Which was crazy.
Maybe it's because he had a low voice.
When he kind of did, a lot of them did this, like the Johnny Cash talk singing. Yeah. So he wasn't like really belting. He was more of like a slower.
I was waiting for him to reach for one of these cookies. Mind if I eat one of these? You put him out. You know what I mean? Like it was that kind of.
He's like, if you
he
guys
had that feel like he wasn't gonna stop his party.
Oh, he was
eating whatever the fuck. He's like, yeah, I know I'm supposed to eat this and that, but I'm not gonna do it.
He was doing terrible one-liners.
Oh, do the one-liners again.
He's like, my wife and I's relationships work so well because
they were together 54 years.
We did dinner and dancing twice a week. I'd go Tuesday and she'd go Thursday.
Hi-oh.
I was like, look at this. But he did like 5 minutes worth of that. He
had a full set. He had a set. He would have got passed at the store.
I passed him. He wore like he made the decision because he had a huge bulbous body.
Yeah.
Where he went because you have to go above the gut or below. He was going way
round,
above. But he had the geriatric shoes, like the
Velcro
leather. Like he would like.
I get
waddle
nervous.
up.
I like when I start with the Velcro. I'm gonna be nervous. I don't like Velcro.
I wore Velcro in high school. I played high school volleyball. I switched. I think soccer for volleyball. I forget what season it was. And I wore Velcro shoes I bought at Kmart just to make a mockery of the sport.
Oh, thank God. I thought you were being serious. No, I was like, Jeff, what's happening?
They were called Easy Striders, and they cost like $9.
That's expensive for them.
They were blue. I would cross them over, and the coach was like...
So mad.
Because he knew I played basketball, and he used to coach girls basketball, and he'd be pissed. I would just wear these geriatric shoes.
Just because you didn't like volleyball?
No, I liked it, but I was just like, I just thought it was funny to wear Velcro shoes.
Just tormenting the teacher.
Then I bought at Kmart. So Fred's coming back. They're also bringing Bob back.
Yeah.
Bob had a crazy health story.
This
guy had spinal meningitis.
That's insane.
This guy was
for him to survive because he went through it when they were in Europe, right? Like I
think he got sick and then he had to leave.
They didn't think he was going to make it back.
This dude was so bad that a priest was called in to give last rites.
By the way, the Jews do this?
I don't think so. What is the last rite? Is it just to one last make sure we're good?
It's almost like a confession. It's almost like anything
you say now is good.
You're absolved of all your sins,
even if it's like something horrific.
Pretty much. If
you're like, I murdered.
If you confess it, you're good.
So you're like, I murdered. And you're like, all right, you're good.
Yeah, you admit it, you take responsibility, and then you can move on.
The Bob guy asked the rest of the crew.
Sorry, I don't know if it's real, but in Goodfellas, they really narrowed it down. My guy's bigger than your guy down here.
So this dude from the meningitis, his whole memory gone. None of his family.
Yeah.
Couldn't see, couldn't talk, couldn't walk.
Nothing. Didn't know his wife, didn't know nothing.
So they said when he slowly started coming back, he was singing it like...
His wife seemed young. That was his wife, right?
Yeah.
Not his daughter?
She looked younger, yeah.
Yeah, she was great.
So they said he would start singing like all the time at full
all
volume. It was like some part of his brain knew like this is your way back and remembered the singing.
See?
And so then...
This was when I cried and I had to take it off. Jeff almost cried.
Yeah, I didn't get there.
I was there.
I blue-balled.
Sobbing.
Blue-balled my
sobbing.
So Bob and Fred come in. What a heartwarming reunion. They were greeted like they were like
so cute.
People were waving. They're hugging people, waving. They're like, look who's back.
The celebrities of the group.
Because I think this group, though, is the turnover. I think some people probably didn't know them, but then there were people who did definitely work with them.
It's rude to say turnover. It's rude because they're turning over in their graves the way you're saying
I'm saying it like the
poor guy,
like the role.
This is maybe where Fred's Gems. I'm trying to think of Fred's Oxygen, whatever. I might have skipped ahead. I don't know, but that's where they showed the guy who was having sex that I messed up and put him in.
Steve Martin.
Yeah.
One of the most.
What a great name.
This guy is.
I grew up with a guy named Steve Martin too.
This guy is like seriously one of the most positive, like confident people you've ever seen in your life.
He's like, sex is great. Like nobody asked him, but he's like, sex is great. You just do it a little slower. I was like, okay.
He's got a lady he calls his squeeze.
Yeah.
And he goes, it takes longer. You have more fun.
The guy I grew up with, Steve Martin, his older brother, Georgie Martin, used to refer to women as tomatoes. Look at that tomato. I'd like to squeeze that tomato.
Jeez. Guy's looking to make pizza.
I was like, George, am I a tomato? He's like, you're a tomato, but you're a little tomato. I was like, what does that mean?
You're a cherry tomato.
I was a baby tomato.
Steve is a former Marine. They showed him. He was fucking going like 80 in his convertible down the street.
Flying. We got Lenny who can see. These guys in the villages would kill.
Steve was on the younger side of this group.
Definitely.
He was in his 70s. You could tell he was way younger.
That's why I said he was almost 80, so I guess he was like 78, 79.
This guy was working out 3 days a week.
3 days a week.
Weights.
It's the key, boy. It's the key. 3 days a week doing weights. And he's not doing a lot, obviously, but like it's keeping his body and his mind together.
He goes, I forget the woman's name. He's like, ask so-and-so. She's been the recipient of some of my physical gifts. I was like, look at this guy.
Unbelievable felon that's now in this group.
This guy, Steve Martin.
Slightly rapey guy.
Steve Martin, in one of the songs, I think it was Schizophrenia, Bob's like, you know what, we're not going to do it. And he goes, no, no, we are going to do it. It's a good song. He yelled at him. That was like, I saw the Marine come out. He's like, we're doing it.
We're doing it or I'll fucking kill everybody in here.
He's like, it's an upbeat song. It's like us. I was like, oh, shit. Don't take it away from the guy.
He will get you.
I think, was it Lenny? One of the guys is in this group.
Yeah.
Sings in his church every Sunday.
Yeah. He's in
sings
the choir.
It with a harmonica group. And is in a bike riding group in like his 80s. That's incredible.
He's like, yeah, we do the bike riding, and that was Lenny, right?
I think it was. He was on like a 10-speed bike. I was like, that's a lot.
This is just a regular bike. I don't go to all this stuff because if it interferes with my singing, I'm like, oh my god, this guy's tremendous.
He's way more activities than I am currently.
You gotta get it together.
I know, I do.
But that's a military man. You know what I mean? Both the military guys were the ones that seemed to be striving.
Steve Martin and Lenny.
And I mean,
think they ever did like military like stuff together, like go paintballing?
Like when Joe came back and him and Fred were rehearsing and he was singing, it was like,
Well, Fred started off a little weak, but then he found his footing.
Not
Fred. I'm sorry, Joe. Joe started a little weak in the voice
because it was like, but in my heart I was like, he's not breathing properly. Like that's and not in a bad way, but I'm saying like as far as singing, but also it was impeded. So I was like, dude, that's not good. Like it scared me. And then
they were doing Coldplay, the two of them.
Yeah.
And Joe was hitting some crazy high notes that even Bob, the director, was like, whoa, Joe. And Joe, he's like, that's okay. You surprised yourself.
That was beautiful. You surprised yourself. And he was doing it, but it wasn't coming out.
And it was like, you could tell it was like taxing for him. Like it was a tough, because they do these rehearsals where like the two soloists go up front and everyone else watches.
And this was the same rehearsal where Stan and Doris got yelled at because Bob was losing it.
Poor Stan.
Yeah.
Because he kept saying, I feel good like sugar and spice. I feel nice, Stan. It has to rhyme with sugar and spice. And he couldn't get it, this poor guy. Well, Lenny, was it Lenny? One guy blanked, they said, in the middle of songs, soloing.
Yeah. No, that's not Lenny. That's Stan. When he sings, he's the one with the couldn't remember. And he just
stares
he
like
zones out. Yeah.
It's like
that's
8 Mile.
But he has the spinal cord injury, and that infects the brain. Sorry, it sucks, but it does. It's you know what I mean. Like you could work out and do all that, but if you have health shit like that, or generic, whatever, it's still gonna fuck you up.
They showed another great music video. Is Bowie's Golden Years, which is another fitting song.
So good. When they started singing this, I was like, oh my God, my brother
years.
Tommy has to see this. We're doing this in our house because we do musicals in our house a lot. Like, I tell a lot of crazy stories, but if you saw the Kerrigans do The Sound of Music, you would fucking love it.
What, like as an afternoon
Oh, yeah. We do The
activity?
Wizard of Oz. No, during holidays, they always play those. But Wizard of Oz.
Do you have scripts?
You want
or you
GQ Johnny on here? He'll get in here. He'll start singing.
Do you have scripts or are you just doing the song?
No, we just do the songs because Kathleen was upset. My older sister was obsessed with that.
Your
and she was
neighbors
music-
must be like, oh boy, here we go again.
Me and my sister Kathleen went to singing classes, right? Because we wanted to be singers.
Give us a little singer. A little
So
song.
I had to sing from My Fair Lady. I could have danced all night. And it was on, and unfortunately my sister passed away, but she's an amazing singer, like really good. And we're in the class and we're doing our songs. And my sister was like, hey, can I put your name to this instructor in Philadelphia that was pretty well known? She goes, can I put your name on a resume I want to submit? And he goes, absolutely. And I go, hey, can I? He goes, not yet.
Oh.
Dude, it was so fat. My sister fell down. She was like, you fucking dick.
Ouch.
So
Ouch.
I was on the phone with my mom and I was like, My Fair Lady was on. I heard my song and I started singing to her. I could have danced all night. And it's so
You
bad.
sound
right?
like Edie
So,
from Grey Garden.
So I was doing it intentionally, like really, like they do all night and still have baked for more. So I was doing it like Audrey Hepburn, whatever, trying to mock her. And my mom goes, it's good you can dance. This was 2 days ago. This bitch.
Wow. The truth's coming out in old age.
She's holding me back.
This is Edie.
Edie!
This is Edie and little Edie all over again.
Oh,
Man.
yeah, it was so bad. I was not good. I was not as good as my sister. My sister can belt.
Not yet. That's a tough assessment. You're like, well, when?
That hurt.
I'll let you know.
I'm still asking him, hey, man, is it time?
He's constantly checking in with you. You didn't ever use my name, did you?
Let me see your resume. He checks online. That's fucked up, man.
Things start going bad for Bob, who got brought back.
Yeah.
He's having chest pains, ends up in the hospital.
Oh, I did not like this.
This dude shows up to rehearsal the next day. The director didn't even know that he had...
He goes, we didn't know you were in the hospital, and, we can come to your house.
Yeah, he's like, I wouldn't have had... You could Zoom. I wouldn't have had you
never
coming
had
in.
you do this.
This dude then has cardiac arrest, read the last rites again, beats it again. This guy beats last rites twice.
So did my sister.
That's crazy. What
Yeah.
I said, this guy, what a will to survive.
Yeah.
Where he's like, I'm not going out. Fuck your last rites.
It's crazy. Yeah,
I'm
he's like,
staying here.
I'm not religious. He just starts yelling.
Well, Bob, because Bob like talks to them because Bob on a microphone, which I thought was weird, because they're in like a small room. Bob, the director.
Oh, yeah. Oh, for a second, I was like, wait,
He's
what?
like, if any of you
But
guys,
yeah, you're right.
He's like, if any of you guys ever had last rites, and a woman,
Yeah. She was like,
a woman's like, I did, and he goes, did you? No, she said I didn't. And he goes, did you see the light everyone talks about? And she goes,
I didn't look.
and he goes, that's one way to get out of it.
I saw a bright thing in my peripheral and I turned away. I was like, holy shit.
And then one guy who was, because there were people who weren't like featured.
Yeah, but there was one guy who said,
one guy goes, they tried to do it to me. I go, I'm not religious. Oh, don't even bother. And he survived. He was there.
Yeah. It's not worth
He
it.
denied it.
I mean, it means nothing, but if you're religious, I guess.
They must not like when you're like, I'm good.
Yeah. Oh no. And they have, which is weird, in hospitals they have I believe every denomination come around and like talk to you. If you're whatever religion you are, they come in.
So they just
My sister may have had it 2 or 3 times.
do they
to be
work
quite
at the
honest.
hospital, or are they just there like doing this?
They just go and visit people.
So their
it's part
job-
of their like culture, not culture,
Duties.
part of their duties.
Okay.
Yeah, culture.
Like you
Why
got
are you in the kids section? Get out.
you're on the hospital shift.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, I'm good, thanks.
yeah.
I think he said they didn't know what was wrong with me, so they read me last right. And he goes, yeah, I don't want
That's
it.
crazy. That's right. And then
They
he
were
was
like,
fine.
yeah, and he goes,
whatever
yeah,
it was.
I'm good.
It is scary. Like, I mean, these guys are on the verge. When he went into the hospital and then they were like, oh, we're moving him to a rehab facility. I thought, man, that's great. Okay, he's good.
He still was like, I need to perform. Like he kept saying,
he's
he had the poster up in the room and he's like, I need to be at this show. It's
the
in 2
poster
weeks.
is tremendous.
It was Joe right in the middle with his fist up.
And it said Alive and Well. Oh, that was the name of the show.
So they have a warm-up show because they keep showing them practice. The I Feel Good's not coming along. It's not getting there. They have a warm-up show at the local jail, which I was like, what a concept this is. Right before they're going, they're on the bus, headed there. Bob, the director's assistant, gets on the bus. They don't bring the camera on, and they got to respect, but they have the sound on because they're like, we need this for the doc. A little exploitative, but anyway.
Fucking animals.
She's like, guys, I have bad news. Joe died. Finally got taken out. Beat the last rites twice, but he died of, he had a heart attack, they say?
I think so. But when they put him on the gurney to take him to the rehab, the way they hooked him in, I was like, is he violent? Like, I never
that's how they
saw
move
that.
you.
I guess that's
they
how
moved
it is.
Courtney like that after childbirth, and I loved it. I was like, that looked fun. They put like a hammock
really
under
on.
you, and they give like a 1, 2, 3, and then slide you over to the thing.
Maybe. Oh, no. That's normal.
Oh, got it.
That's normal, moving with the bed sheet.
Oh, what are you talking about?
When he was on the gurney, they were taking him to the rehab. They were just giving him a ride in the ambulance to the play. But he was strapped in the top, like he was going on a ride.
That's for lawsuits, probably.
Maybe they fall off a lot, or
they come out the
lean
back
up
doors
or
down the
something,
street.
slide off. Yeah, I guess so.
They
but
kept
I was
showing
like,
his
is
wife
he still sick.
His wife and kids, and I think maybe even grandkids.
Yeah.
Who, like, I felt terrible. They looked very obviously concerned.
Yeah.
And distraught after this. They announced, like, Bob's dead. Do you guys want to do the show? And they're like, we got to do the show.
But that's how it is. They're right. They have a better perspective.
Eileen said, you know, like someday I'm going to die and I'm going to be sitting on top of a rainbow looking
But I'll
down.
be looking down, making sure that you are
all
dancing all night.
All singing. She's like, they were all obviously, you know, this is a friend of theirs, but they were like, we got to go do the show.
Yeah.
Like, this is what he would have wanted. I'm sure he probably did shows where other people died.
Yeah. Like they said, they pulled that lady off. No, I'm kidding.
That's when she said that. She's like, I tell them, if I die, you drag me
Just
off.
drag my body off or stand over me so the audience doesn't see it.
So they're in the jail. And this looked like a minimum security jail. Two guys had dogs.
Why? When? What jail? What jail is this?
I was shocked. I was like,
what privilege do you have? Holy shit.
2 guys had dogs on leashes, and I couldn't get over. I was like, what is going on?
And a leash? I mean, shouldn't these dogs be keeping them in line? Like, I was like, what is going on?
I hope they're getting out in the yard, like doing some exercise, not in solitary.
And at first, you could see them being giddy and a little like, you know, oh, all right, we're outside, we're going to see. Whatever. Like these macho, obviously not great people-ish.
I think it's funny because you saw with these guys the reaction because like it's like you laugh because it's like startling to see these people singing these songs, but then it's like, oh shit, like this is good. Then
they're good. They're
it went to like
together.
a lot of these guys looked emotional.
I saw that.
A bunch of them looked like they were either crying or about to.
I was sobbing, and when because
they mentioned like at the end,
they dedicated it to Bob. That he goes, he said. Before we came here.
Yeah, today we heard.
We just heard one of our main died.
And you could see a lot of these guys were like, it hit them hard. I was like, oh man, these are hard. Some of these guys are probably hardened criminals.
And you just see them like really
what got them was Forever Young got a lot of these guys. Because that's to see these people singing Forever Young.
Yeah.
I want to be. And you can just see them like either thinking of relatives that they can't see.
And these guys are thinking like, I can't see my relatives. 2, I may not make it to that age. Yeah. I fucked up my life at this age because they were pretty young, the people the prisoners.
The show gets over and the old people just go mingle with all the inmates. And in my head, I'm like, how do you know what they did? If you're like shaking like a rapist hand, you're like, hey, man. I was like, oh, man.
Like one lady hugged and then they separated. And I wonder if she was like, wait, what did you do?
They should have to wear like obviously
Oh, you want Scarlet Letter? Oh, shit.
I don't want to shake a child molester's hand. Be like, what's up, dude?
How many kids?
I'd be like,
well,
beat
I
it.
have two.
Oh my God, car theft? What's up, man? Good.
Yeah,
how are you?
fucked up,
Drugs?
man.
That's cool. Whatever. I would want to know. I don't want to hug a guy who's a piece of shit. Would you?
No, but I mean, look, you're on their turf.
Did you ever see Monique's old special? It was on Showtime in like the early
Probably.
2000s.
Yeah, I love
And it was
that.
called, she went to a prison. It was called I Could Be Your Cellmate. And she just kept saying that over and over again. And she's like, what are you in for? This lady was like, murder. This lady was pissed. She's like, I could be your cellmate.
I could be your cellmate.
She just kept saying
Monique
it.
is great.
I was like, I used to watch this a decent amount.
Because she's really funny, though.
Her like, I think was it her husband or her boyfriend was like her, I don't know if he was
Manager.
So he was on
I remember
stage
that.
and she's like, look at so-and-so. And all the women were like, ooh, because they're all ladies in here.
Sure.
Who were stuck.
And then they were like, I could take your man.
I could be
She's like,
your cellmate.
I'm not going to be your cellmate.
Yeah, she kept saying, what did you do? And I'm like, this could go horrifically wrong if you get like, someone who's.
Can you imagine crowd work? You just,
That's basically what she was doing.
holy shit.
Because it's like, I killed my kids.
I think I
could
only-
be your cellmate. I'm like, okay.
I had my kids too.
I was like,
I might
all
be in
right.
here next week with you.
Well, Jeff Ross did the one in prison where a guy said something
Oh,
to
I
him
never
via
saw
crowd
it.
work, but he got tried for a crime they didn't know he committed. The guy incriminated himself.
He did his last rites.
The guy ratted on himself like via bit, and he ended up. I think he got convicted of it.
Well, so you're saying Jeff Ross did a good thing?
Not in
I'm
this,
just asking.
not in this guy's eyes.
Right.
It's like, what the fuck? Why are you asking me questions?
Yeah, I forgot Jeff did that. I forgot about that. Yeah.
We should do a podcast.
I think so.
You would be so horned up with all the guys.
How long you got, buddy?
A guy with a record that's your type of thing.
When you getting picked up? When you getting out? When you getting out?
You would end up,
Mine isn't. I could be your cellmate. When you getting out?
I could be your wife. Get conjugal visits or no? Joe, who's the centerpiece, the guy who had chemo 6 times. Now
Stop. I'm gonna.
he's getting sick. He needs a blood transfusion. The director guy is like, "Are you worried your cancer's back?" He's like, "I don't think about it at all." I was like, "That's a bull."
I got lyrics to memorize.
Like, this guy's had 6 chemos, and he's like, "I'm not even thinking about it."
Look at my Fred. Fred.
Look at Fred right there. What a performer.
God bless him. But Bob was also their main guy. Bob was
Joe.
also.
No, Joe was,
I'm sorry,
Joe was like the current centerpiece.
Joe, I'm so sorry. Joe was their current.
Because they have soloists, and I think he only gives the solos to certain people.
Yeah.
And Joe was like one of the main soloists.
But if you were like watching this, knowing what's coming, like Joe just looked great. And he
Also,
was
like a
memorable-
super happy guy.
super happy.
Nice.
What a positive.
Lenny was his
amazing-
BFF. They were doing talking heads together.
Yeah, they're going to meet for coffee. They're going out. They're doing all kinds of stuff. They're still hanging out because Lenny, drove on the Autobahn and now is that the right word? I don't know.
Autobahn's in Europe.
Yeah, I know. But I'm saying he was there.
He was flying on the Autobahn.
He was also in the war.
Joe, they said, barely missed, I think, a show in all the chemo he had.
Yeah.
That's insane.
That's insane.
Singing, too. Like, you're not just, like, you have to go there and then sing. Like, and they dance
Yeah.
and stuff, too. It's
Yeah.
not just, like, singing. I was like, that's impressive to dedication.
I can dance.
Put me on there as your dance coach, not your singing coach. They show your boy Fred's video. He's doing Staying Alive.
Yeah.
Shot at a bowling alley with like a
Staying
gold chain and a white suit.
Is that possible to get that video up?
I'm sure I found it online.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
The staying alive. I don't know what words to put in because you might get John Travolta.
So they're
What was that? Like, unbelievable.
Yeah, I don't
There's
know
his
who-
cookies. There's his cookies. tremendous.
Those are the Keebler Elf, the circle with the chocolate.
Oh yeah, those are good ones.
Fred, by the way, at the time of this filming, was given 2 years to live, and he's 4 months past his expiration.
4 months past the expiration. He's expired milk, and he is still going.
And he's like, I got a show to do. His wife's
keeping up.
His wife's getting nervous about him coming back.
Yeah.
And he's like, this is my last hurrah.
So I'm not going to do it no more.
One last song and I'm out. Don't take it away.
Yeah.
So Joe, the guy who had the chemo and is the star, the big show, guy dies of pneumonia, just 1 week after Bob. That one got me. I was like,
Yo, I was dead. I was like, I'm like now, choked. Sorry.
Lenny, his good pal, was like, you could tell, distraught.
I kept a tissue in my pocket in case because I really was so upset about him passing.
Well, because you get invested and then you're like, oh,
also,
man.
They cheated a couple times. Like, you know, they call it cheating death. But, you know, he survived. He did all that.
When he looked healthy, too. Like, he looked good.
And he was good at memorizing, and he was good at breathing. He was good at singing. He was good at all of it. So you're like, it really, like, it got me. I had to pause it. Then I started crying so hard. I was like, I'm not going to be able to watch the end of this. I'm going to fucking cry myself to sleep over some guy I don't know.
But they're all so sweet. He was such a nice guy. What was interesting is most of them didn't cry about when they were like talking about it.
No, they were like, shit, who's next? You know what I mean? These come in threes and we're only at 2.
When I think they know it's a reality. Like, they're not like, we're not young. Like, we know this is going to go down.
I mean, look at Fred.
Look at him there. We got to play his last performance as a fucking tearjerker. Brilliant. People said almost all the comments, like, this is better than Coldplay's original.
It's worse than shit. I'm gonna mess it up. Tammy and
who?
It was about these singers, George and Tammy on Showtime, and he has a song. George, what's his name? George something. He's a country singer, and he has a song called "I Stopped Loving Her Today." He stopped loving her today. Dead. If you listen, he stopped loving her today, George.
And it's about her?
George Jones.
Unbelievable. It's Tammy Wynette and George Jones.
Is it about her, the song?
Yeah.
And he sings it to her?
You can't. Young kids put it online, they sing it and they stop it and they go, hey, this is sad. like it's bad.
I don't know. Like
that's what it reminded me of when he did that last song.
Well, because he's singing it and he's dedicating it because he was supposed to be doing the duet
with Bob,
who died. And like, this is their big comeback. And he's like, I'm like,
they were the stars of the group that came back to like bring it home.
One last like hurrah.
Schizophrenia, or no, the song they sing at the end was Never Coming Together.
Yeah.
And finally, Schizophrenia came together. All the songs that they were doing were starting to come together, except for 2. And this one was like their big, gonna make it all worth it.
Yeah.
And Bob died, and now it's just Fred.
How good was the live performance of Schizophrenia by Sonic Youth?
They
really nailed it.
They really pulled it together.
I was like, oh, because that one they were struggling with in the rehearsal.
Right.
That was the one where Steve Martin's like, you're not pulling it. I was like, this guy might have a gun on him, dude. Because Bob's like, all right, Steve, calm down. We could fight probably still. He said, we're doing it.
Yeah, we're doing it.
And they did it.
And they killed it.
Did you notice they were drinking a little bit here and there?
Okay, at the beginning of the show, they were, here's what they were doing. Now, again, with the drugs and old people.
They had plastic shot glasses.
Do it all. But was it alcohol or medicine? Like,
That's
you never.
True.
They're like, that's tired.
No, but before the show, Steve Martin let him in and like he gave a salute and they all took a shot. And then Eileen's like, does anyone want some wine? They were getting hammered.
Eileen's like, I'm going to drink this all.
Because they took a few
heritage.
They did like it in acts, so I think they probably need breaks. They did an act 1.
Right. They did 1.
And Steve Martin's like, you know, you got some pre-show jitters. We get up there and we just do our thing.
We come back. We got to change some diapers and then we're coming out. We're coming back out.
How good was the I Feel Good live? The crowd went fucking nuts.
Yeah.
When that lady Dora, is that her name? She's like,
Dora.
Ow! They did a good fake. They started the song slow.
Yeah.
And then it went like nuts and the crowd went insane. That got like a standing ovation for like
And
2 minutes.
The kids were dancing.
I think that may have been her family. They were in the reserve. It said reserve.
Because they were black. That's
right. It said reserve.
But also, no, I'm kidding.
How dare you?
But also, it was like, these are grandkids that are listening to music they never heard. And they're like, oh, this one I know. Like, because they always put that on. That song, like, I think every kid knows that song for some reason.
When they got, so when it came to Stan's lines, I was seriously nervous for him. Because Bob, like a week before, is like,
and you see Bob turning, like he's directing the group in the back, but he's turning like.
He sings with them, by the way, too.
Kind of.
He's part of the group.
Oh, yeah, that beginning part. But this part, he wasn't singing. But you see him mouthing it like.
Don't fuck up. He said to him a week before.
He's like this.
He's like, I need you to commit to it. Like, sing like you know it.
Yeah.
He's like, I see you in your head. And he's like, I'll get it. I got it. He was rehearsing with Dora outside during the show.
In between takes, in between breaks, they were sitting rehearsing.
Like just together.
So good.
And he's like, I know we're going to get him in there. And she's like, oh, we're going to get him. She had such confidence. She had like a lot of swag. So when he got it.
We got this.
When they both did it, I was like legit proud of them.
I shed a tear. I was like, he got it.
I was like, yes, they both did it. Because the narrator kept being like, here's a song they were having trouble with all along.
And then like, Bob, you see his shoulders go down like, oh, thank God.
Yeah, he's like, oh, this
the director.
Guy. This guy
motherfucker. Man, I was going to throw him off the stage if he fucked that up.
Then they show Fred's Coldplay song, which, man.
Again, with the angles, because they all look little, looking up at him like.
When then they're showing Bob, the guy in the group's family, who's like weeping.
Yeah.
Because, they're all at the show. I was like, man, yeah, let's take a look at this song. I got to hear it again.
Me too. But if I cry, don't play He Stopped Loving Her Today, I'll fall apart.
Look at this ad. How dare you?
Oh, we got an ad. Oh, wait a minute.
It's about wrinkles.
Is this tinfoil face?
What a great last performance.
Oh, my God.
And this, by the way, is like, I think, near 2 million views on YouTube.
It should be more. It should be more.
Maybe we'll help it.
So
get to that,
cute.
too. 2.8? Oh, 2.8. Sorry. I knew it was around nearly 3 million.
Yeah.
What a great song.
What a beautiful song, right? Yeah, I was sobbing, and Jeff's like, oh, I guess I'll take a shower. I'll probably jerk off like fucking what's his name, yeah.
Maybe I do belong in the Villages.
You are in the Village jerking it.
I'm in the mental village.
You and fucking small strokes are making smaller strokes. God, hurt me so bad.
The night I watched this, I was up late because my son was being so fucking annoying. And he made me sleep next to him on the floor of his room. And he's trolling me just going, Daddy? Daddy? Yes? Just nothing. So I have my computer and headphones and I'm watching these songs.
Okay.
And then I was like, next time I'm in Massachusetts, this is 2 hours away from where I grew up. I might try to catch a show.
Me too.
They do live. Still, it's a new people,
obviously.
But I might try to catch a live show if I can.
Because at the end, we found out that it does come in threes. And Eileen died.
But she was not yet 92. Yeah.
93. She died at 93.
It said she's on her rainbow. She's out. Done. They took her key back.
Tons of.
How nice though was Fred's letter to the group?
I can't.
After he
quit.
That's
another thing. You didn't cry at that either.
I was like, geez.
Jesus.
He wrote like the most heartwarming letter of like, thank you guys for letting me come back. Like, I hope I performed up to your standards. You guys are amazing. And then he gave a PS, which I was waiting for a joke from him, but it was kind
of
like
a daddy joke,
but it wasn't really a joke because that's like it was his style. But he's like, PS, Bob Kleiman is a taskmaster, but listen to him because he'll help you. It was like a nice shot. He's like, I know he could be a dick.
He basically called him a dick. Yeah, he's like, he's a pain in the ass, but listen to him. Wait, is this their upcoming shows?
Yeah. This is.
Oh wow, Sunday, November 19th.
I think it's.
Jeff, are you going home for the holiday?
I gotta get to. I need to see this group at least once.
At least once. It's so good. It's so sweet. And honestly, I think they should do this in every major. Everywhere.
On their site, it says like frequently asked question
funded.
Is how do I start something like this? And it was like get people who who want to do it or musically
I'm
inclined.
doing it in South Philly, and we're gonna do like Meek Mill We'll see what happens.
I wanted a Beastie Boys or something like
Something
that.
cool like that. That's what I mean. We'll get.
You gotta fight.
Will Smith has to do some charity work. Let's get him. We keep his hands in his pockets and let him. Jill Scott. We got some killer singers.
You
Music. Everybody from Philly.
David Byrne from Talking Heads is on like the advisory board for this group.
Oh wow!
Because
Okay.
I don't know if it was after the doc, because this doc was
The
like
golden
was
years
a big
got
deal.
me too. That made me cry too.
Oh. All the song, even that song, like it was almost like they picked that
Yeah.
Coldplay song for the situation, but they didn't. That was what they were going to sing.
Wow.
Like it fit perfectly. It was like, I'll fix it. Like it was like, man, this guy's got a bad heart. I was
Yeah.
like, this is crazy.
At home, listen to that, and then also if you can find that "He Stopped Loving Her Today" by George Jones.
If you want another cry.
That'll if you need a cry, listen to that.
What would you have done if after Fred's performance, just a ton of panties came up on stage?
Would have been mine first, right around his oxygen mask.
And then he got so crazy with the performance, he just did a stage dive into the front row.
And his front ass was on your face.
I would have tried my best to
that
keep him
front ass.
up.
That's a Keebler elf front ass that you got going, and I love it.
Watch the oxygen machine. Keep it up.
Somebody hold the machine as he's going through.
To sing like that?
He's the old machine. That's Bert Kreischer.
That's Bert's future.
Bert should watch this and be like,
He's a crier. He would be bald.
oh yeah. I'll sit with Bert and watch it then because if he cries, that's good. He's sensitive.
He would be weeping.
I'm a weeper. I'm a crybaby.
Man, look at this guy.
I love him. I literally, he was my favorite character throughout the whole thing. And all of them were great in their own way, but he took my heart.
He
with
read
his
it. Look at him young, where
He's
he
like
doesn't
my
look
pop-pop.
young.
Oh, look at him there. He's like my pop-pop. Singing, just a killer voice, young at heart.
I was curious too, like what did a lot of these people do? Like what were their jobs? Because they're all retired, I would assume.
What if they have competitions and they challenge the villages? And
The Villages would do some lame like band.
Jamaica, whatever the fuck that song is. Ain't that Jimmy Buffett?
Here's Fred. He died in
I don't
Northampton.
know. I don't even know what I was singing. He died?
Oh, he was a veteran too. They didn't even mention that.
He did say that, I thought.
He worked for the YMCA. I'm a big YMCA fan.
Me too. We both worked at the YMCA, me and Jeff. I was a lifeguard
I didn't work.
there.
I
Oh,
swam.
you swam. I was a lifeguard
I was on the
there.
swim team. I learned to swim at the Y.
Probably the worst picture I ever took.
He worked for the Clark School for the Deaf. He was there for 30
he's
years.
just a gentleman. That's all.
He raised over $22 million. Jesus.
For?
That school, I think.
Oh, wow.
Unless it was
for
himself.
the School of Deaf.
He retired in 87.
57 years he went.
So he was retired like 20 years at this point. Man.
Oh, wow. Okay. And then he died at 80. So he died shortly after this.
He was married 57 years to Barbara.
Because he was expired.
Oh, he did have kids. It's okay. He did have kids.
Yeah. He was expired. How old was he there?
Here?
Yeah.
I think he was only like 75. 83. Okay.
No, that's when he died.
Oh, he died at 83. What year is that? 2009?
Oh, so
So he's probably like 70s. I think it was like 2006.
late 70s.
5?
Yeah.
They say I saw on the site they have a fund in his name to donate to the group.
Oh, but also when they kept getting that wrong, the Can song and also
the Can. We didn't even mention that.
That was a tough one. That was the
Yes,
the
I can.
I can. Oh,
Dora's
hard
like,
to do.
listen to this song. I can't, come on.
It don't even make sense. That's where the lady got mad. She goes, "It doesn't make sense." And so
They nailed that too.
they got it. They got that. That was the hard one.
That was Bob wanted to scrap that as well.
Yeah, but Bob also said when they were doing that, the "I Feel Good," he goes, "Good news is we're gonna get it. It just may be 2009." And Fred died in 2009.
It was a big laugh. He got killed on that line.
Crushed.
He's like, I'm gonna do a stand-up club for old people now.
Yeah, it really does go in threes though, because that sucked that she died shortly after this.
I saw online it said like what level of like musical talent did these people have prior to joining,
Nothing probably.
He's like, some were music professionals, like theater or other stuff.
Okay.
Some like amateur, like love to sing, and then some zero, like nothing.
Do you think I would be able to get in that group even though I can only dance?
I think all you have to do is live to the age to get in.
The only requirement is to be. Also, Bob would like, when they were rehearsing, he would have them standing a lot. And I was like, damn, like they're up. You see, like Stan, especially because he had the spine injury. Yeah. He was standing like me, how I do stand up, hunchback of Notre Dame.
It took like
Jeff says when I'm on stage, I bend down, and I do, and I'm sorry.
A lot of your act outs, you end up like 45-degree angle.
What? You know, I'm showing my muscles, my clavicle bone.
It took a lot of people to get him up and down into the chair.
Exactly. And so even with the other ones, like he'd get him. Fred had to sit and Bob had to sit, but the other ones like Joe, like they're standing a lot.
Well, they were dancing too.
Yeah. Well, those ones had a little. That's why Joe, I was like, I didn't expect that because.
What do you think the budget is?
I figured he beat it. I was like, he did it.
What do you think their budget is? Because they have a lot. Like I was watching a lot of the new ones. They have a lot of like intricate costumes.
Well, they don't have to pay for the songs, right? That would be
no. I don't
up.
think so.
Yeah, that would be a real dick move if they did that to him.
And do they get paid to perform? I wonder.
Or
do they just like because they toured Europe? Like is that all paid for? Or are they paying out of pocket? Like what's?
No, I'm assuming that's paid for.
Paid for.
Like that's some.
They said they perform for the
donation. They perform for the Queen.
Queen of Norway.
Oh wow!
Which is that? It's a lower level Queen, but still that's a Queen. It's not England, but I didn't even know Norway had
England. Nobody likes England. Anyway, I'm sorry.
It's
I'm in a
Irish
I'm in a bad mood today with them.
You need to go down to the villages. Get your.
Sorry, you're a problem.
I'm booking you to perform at a jail in Northampton.
So, but if we become, what is a Jimmy Buffett song?
Margaritaville.
Aruba.
Nope. Kokomo. That's
What?
Beach Boys.
Oh, my fault.
Ooh, I want to take you to.
Right now, my brother Johnny is fuming that I said that. And if Tommy listens to this, he may execute me when I walk in the door.
Is he a big Beach Boys?
He's just a music person.
Okay.
He knows it all.
So he's ashamed.
Anything you can think of, he listens to and knows it. He'll know when the band started.
Way down in Kokomo.
So that's not... That Quiver said.
I'm gonna get in.
That Quiver was like, "What's the?"
This guy's these are current members. I was watching.
This is the current. Oh, okay, okay. Are
you can see Bob, the director's like.
We have any good Freds in there? We have any new Freds?
There's a new lady who's heavily featured who wears these like huge glasses.
Yeah, like the old Navy commercial. Tremendous.
Yeah, she does have that kind of look. If you look up on the site, you'll see her.
I think that's.
I like the beard on the right. He's good.
Oh, that's a new guy? That's a new guy?
This is all the new group.
Oh, my fault.
Look at Steve Martin, still in the goddamn group.
That's why I thought it was the old group.
He's born in 1928. So how old is he?
Steve Martin's wild. 28?
Wild and crazy.
He's a wild and crazy guy.
What if he doing?
What if he comes with an arrow?
There she is on the lower right. But those aren't the glasses, but those you can tell are big showbiz.
Yeah.
Those are dice glasses.
You say 28? My mom was 38, so my mom's 85.
This guy's 95 years old, still singing.
Shit.
He's probably still fucking that lady.
Yeah. Whoa.
He's like, I cheated on her. She's out.
It's way harder to get it up now, but if I keep my leg up, what?
Do you think there's a pecking order? Like, does Steve Martin haze some of the newer members because he's been around town?
He's lifting weights in the corner like, you guys didn't even know Fred.
Yeah, you guys don't even know Fred.
Fee, Red.
This guy's name is Medford Boston, which Medford's a city right outside of Boston. That guy's
Medford,
got double Boston tribute, which I saw that guy's name. It was like Medford, Boston.
Medford, Mass. There he is.
It's crazy to see their dates of birth because you're like, oh, look at this loser, 1952.
52. Ooh.
I'm young.
That's a 38. Oh no, is that a 38 up top? My eyes.
Yep.
Oh, all right. I'm getting good.
We got a 30 and 28.
42. Wow. Okay.
Would you rather join
that lady right there? What does that say? 37. She's right above the beard guy. Yeah, she looks like Dennis Woodruff's girlfriend from the Village. See that mustache? That's what Dennis.
Would you rather be in this chorus or would you rather be at the Villages doing cocaine with Reggie?
Can I have the best of both
I mean, you
worlds?
can have the both.
I go to the villages.
You could introduce the group.
I start this.
You franchise it.
We start competing across the country.
It's like Sister Act.
Right? Yeah. Perfect.
I would watch it. I would watch a senior citizen talent.
Lauren Hill. The
talent
great
off.
Lauren Hill. I get her involved.
Get Whoopi to reprise. She's a senior. How is
Perfect.
she?
Whoopi's a senior citizen.
She could join.
Lauren's young, but she's vocalist. She
Would
can
you
help.
join a group like this as an older person if it was available to you?
Probably not because I'm a twat, but I enjoy.
But we're performers.
Yeah, but we hate people.
That's true. We are comedians. You work by
We
yourself.
are soloists, we are. But I really want to start one in my mom's neighborhood.
You'd be at this and you'd be like, God damn it. Get the fucking words right.
Get up! Guess who wouldn't be in the group?
Who's that?
My mom.
Why? She doesn't like people?
Oh, honey, I'm not doing that shit.
They'd be like, we need 3 rehearsals. Fuck you.
And we would go to church all the time. We were little. My mom loved to sing. In the church, like the religious songs would come on, and there's certain ones that me and my brother Billy will be like, "Oh, this is our jam!" And they're Bible songs, whatever you want to call them, church songs. And my mom would belt them out, and my brother Bobby would do this, right at her like sitting at her feet,
Oh, man.
like this.
Put his fingers in his ears.
And she was like, "It's not that bad," and he was like, "It's loud."
So she needs to redeem herself, join the group. Little Motown
She got Bobby broke her spirit a little bit because if I hold in his ears,
She could do a religious song.
my mom would be like, "Carry him gently, my baby."
Part of me wanted like a hardcore.
Jesus Christ superstar.
I wanted like a hardcore like NWA, like something really inappropriate.
what I would do.
Or like an Eminem, like something pretty crazy.
That would be what comes out of Philadelphia.
Eminem?
You know what I mean?
Okay.
No, not like an Eminem. Yeah, like even if we had to stick with the Philly people, but like a Meek Mill, like something
Beanie
along
Siegel
those lines.
from, I
Beanie
think,
Siegel, killer.
Philly?
Yeah.
Is he a killer?
None of your business. Nobody's business. But like fun songs like that, we got the doo-wops, all that stuff was big from there.
So you're going to be the director, or are you just like producing?
I don't know yet.
Okay.
I haven't decided, and I do need a job.
You should open for this group. Do a quick 5-minute set. People be like, get them out, get Fred out here.
My closer is I could have danced all night, and it's just my mom coming out going, no.
Your closers, I could have been your roommate in
I
this
did
old
sing.
home.
I sang Somewhere Over the Rainbow one time for her, and she went, "Oh, doesn't Judy do it so well?"
Jeez. Why does your mom hate you?
she's a ball breaker.
I guess. Man. You go home a lot. You're a
I like the abuse.
You're a masochist.
It gets me excited.
You're like, hi, Mom. And she's like,
I don't even have to go home. She told me that 2 days ago over the phone.
When you walk in, is she like, ugh, look who's back?
Every time. But the first thing, how long you staying? I make her do stuff. She doesn't like it.
Brutal.
And now I'm going to make her join a group. And Tommy's going to help. And it's going to be great. Probably Johnny will get in it too. Johnny likes this stuff. He does karaoke every
He's
week.
a mummer.
He's a mummer, but he also does karaoke.
What's his song?
Great question.
Oh, you're going to get in trouble for not knowing that.
Probably. My favorite thing that like Johnny would listen to like Sinatra and stuff like that, like growing up. And in Philly, we have Friday with Frankie and Sunday with Sinatra every week.
Or on the radio?
Yeah. So it was like a big deal. Every Sunday at the pool, we had Sinatra going. Friday, Johnny be getting ready to go out. And there was this guy, I'm going to blank on his name, but Sydney. Got it. Sydney was the DJ, and Sydney would play, he'd play Frank Sinatra songs, but then he'd be like, tonight, sponsoring our broadcast is, Scanuccio's, like he'd name an Italian restaurant. I also mispronounced that. Scanuccio's restaurant. And he'd go, Frank loved the chicken parmesan there. He wouldn't even say Frank. He'd go, Francis Albert loved the chicken parmesan.
What the hell?
That was his favorite dish there. And Johnny'd be in the shower and he'd be punching the wall going, play the song, Sydney! Play the song!
That was him jerking off.
We would scream laughing and just pray for Sydney to keep talking to get Johnny mad.
Jeez.
So funny.
You know you grew up in an Italian area. Well, this is your radio.
Play the fucking song, Sydney.
It's like, and you guys are Irish, but it's like Frank loved his linguine.
Oh, Francis Albert. We definitely were washed out. Yeah. We got overtaken.
You guys are in the wrong
We
neighborhood.
went from getting raped by the English to overtaken by the Italians in South Philly.
That's
Allegedly.
we don't want to get
Allegedly.
sued. I don't want to get sued by England.
Yeah, bring it on, England. I'm ready. I'll take you right to Lawrence Welk.
I couldn't recommend this doc enough.
Same. Or the other one.
Both,
I enjoyed the other one.
Both good, different, obviously very different vibes. But this one, uplifting and depressing at the same time.
Turn on your heart light. Jeff's is off.
How dare you? Yeah, Courtney kept saying, like, I was bawling the first time I saw this. And you keep saying,
Courtney.
Because I kept saying, like, that almost made me cry right there. And she kept being like, well, why don't you cry?
Almost. Let it out, you fucker.
She may be packing as we speak, being like, this guy has no soul.
Guys, we have to get out of here. Daddy has no soul. Holy shit.
But check them both out and support the elderly.
Support the elderly. Support us.
Both of
because we're going to
these-
start an elderly group. So.
Both of these give you kind of a new perspective on the elderly. At least me.
Certainly do. Certainly do.
They're out there.
Yeah.
They're fucking. They're singing.
They're fucking. They're sucking.
They're
They're doing it. They're sucking air.
They're buying golf carts.
And Steve Martin's still fucking a wild and crazy guy.
Oh, yeah. He's still singing. I might meet Steve Martin. Imagine if I get a picture with him on my new Instagram.
Oh my God, I'd be so jealous. That would
I met Steve Martin. and I copy.
That would be so amazing.
All right, everybody.
I love all this. All right, thank you guys.
We'll see you.
Yeah. Bye.